We begin our look at sports on the baseball diamond, where the Yankees are finally starting to heat up. The Bronx Bombers, winners of 4 of 6, moved 3 games over 500 for the first time this season this past week. The Pinstripers took 2 of 3 from the San Francisco Giants on the weekend and wrapping up their long homestand before capturing the first 2 games in Houston Monday and Tuesday nights, respectively. The Yanks dropped the series finale against the Astros 4-1 Wednesday night, but have certainly played their best and most consistent baseball of late. Wednesday night was Alex Rodriguez's 41st birthday, and he watched the game from the bench. His possible inclusion in the lineup remains to be seen. The Bombers had an off day Thursday, and Monday is Major League Baseball's trade deadline. It will be interesting to see if there are any other changes for the Yanks in terms of their bench and the players on the field. The Yanks made the biggest splash at the pre-deadline this week, shipping out flame-throwing closer Aroldis Chapman to the now favored Chicago Cubs. That sounds odd now, doesn't it? Cubs to win the World Series? What is this, Back to the Future? As for the Yanks, they definitely refilled the prospect well, acquiring Cubs top prospect Gleyber Torres. Torres is a shortstop but could profile as a second baseman. The Bombers received 4 players in the trade, including top prospect Billy McKinney and former reliever Adam Warren, who was originally dealt to the Cubs in the Starlin Castro deal. Personally, I don't love the deal, but Chapman was an extra part for an already loaded bullpen, so if any player was to go with the Yanks all of a sudden back in the race, Chapman for these high-level prospects and a return of Warren seems logical. Hopefully Torres is part of the infield in the future, or perhaps packaged in another trade for a frontline player, perhaps left-handed ace Chris Sale, who has fallen out of favor with the Chicago White Sox. The Yankees are now 3.5 out of the wild card and 6 back of the division-leading Baltimore Orioles. The highlight of the weekend was Saturday's Military Appreciation Day. Here's an exclusive look.
Lieutenant General, what does it mean for you to be here at Yankee Stadium? Such a great day for the fans here in the Bronx.
Well, it's obviously an awesome experience. I grew up about 50 miles from here out on the island, and so the opportunity to come back here and throw out a pitch is remarkable. And obviously it's great. The support that the Yankees organization provides to the military is phenomenal. They're big supporters, and we really want to thank the Yankees for everything they've done for the military.
When we get a chance to stop and give a tribute to the military, it's a neat moment for us. I mean, those guys are heroes in our eyes, and it's just it's fun for us, and it's great for everyone in the stands to be able to pay tribute to what these guys do each and every day.
Have you been working on your warm-up pitch?
I absolutely have been working on my warm-up pitch, although I haven't gotten a chance to work off a mound, so we'll see. I'm hoping to get a couple practices before I go back out there, but hopefully I don't bounce it.
During the 2001 World Series, Derek Jeter told President Bush that if he bounced it, the fans would be very upset.
Yeah, President Bush spent a lot more time around baseball organizations than I did, so he had a lot more practice, I think. But he threw a strike, as I recall.
He did a very good pitch.
Yeah.
Just if you can't put into perspective, too, what Military Appreciation Day means.
Well, I think it's important for the military to understand that the nation is still behind them. After 15 years of war, a war that's still going on. We still have men and women in harm's way today overseas, and so it's important for the folks to understand that the nation's behind them.
We also caught up with the Yankees in the postgame to talk about their recent play of late. The Yanks are now 7-3 over their last 10 games. Here's more.
I think every good team goes through a little lull at some point in the season. Ours happens to be right now, just after the break. Just haven't seemed to put it together. Our pitching's done great, and then, at times our offense can't get it done, and then vice versa. It's just how baseball is. You're not going to be perfect all the time, and hopefully that last couple of days we've been able to have a spark here or there, and then today we were able to finally push over the edge and hopefully take the momentum into tomorrow and back into our homestand.
The pitching staff, you're hoping that they can get some run for you, and they're trying to do their best out there. They didn't do it today, but hopefully we'll do it tomorrow.
Every win for us right now is important, and tomorrow, we have to come with a mentality and good mentality, turn the page, what happened today, and win tomorrow.
The Yankees have 52 wins. The Mets have 53. If the season ended today, both clubs would be on the outside looking in. The Amazons are 6.5 back of the division, but only 1.5 out of the wild card, now in third place in the National League East. The Mets are 4-6 over their last 10 games, including 2 blown saves from closer Jeurys Familia after 52 consecutive regular season saves, the third longest streak in MLB history. Familia has dropped the last 2 opportunities, including Thursday's save chance as the Mets fell to the Colorado Rockies 2-1 at Citi Field. The Amazons will look to bounce back this weekend as they finish off their series with the Rockies and gear up for the 4-game Subway Series between the Yankees and Mets Monday through Thursday of next week, 2-2 in Queens and the Bronx. The Mets will retire uniform number 31 of the newest Hall of Famer Mike Piazza in a ceremony Saturday night at Citi Field. That should provide some spark for the club that has been riddled by injury of late. It looks like a thumb injury will sideline Juan Lagares, who needs surgery. Brandon Nimmo has been recalled from Las Vegas. Time for some quick hitters from around the world of sports and golf. The PGA Championship is in full swing. Fans can tune in today to see round 2 and watch the likes of Jordan Spieth, Bubba Watson, and Sergio Garcia. American Jimmy Walker currently tops the leaderboards. In the NBA, Amari Stoudemire has called it a career. He signed a 1-day contract with the New York Knicks after heavily weighing retiring with the Phoenix Suns. Apparently, the Suns weren't providing any positive responses. Nice job done by the Knicks to honor a former great of the NBA. Our current great of the Knicks may be the basketball face of the Rio Olympics. Carmelo Anthony headlines the latest group to go for the gold. He could become the most decorated Olympic men's basketball player in American history if Team USA rolls to its 3rd straight gold medal in Rio next month as expected. The Jets are going for gold, so to speak. Gang Green finally compromised with quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick on a 1-year, $12 million deal. Fitz says he's banking on himself to play well and play himself into another more lucrative deal. Backup Geno Smith says he's upset about not being the starter, but says he plans to use this season to shop his talents to other teams when given the chance to get snaps. Training camp opened yesterday for the Jets, and the Giants will have their first full practice today in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where our BronxNet cameras will be rolling right after the show. New Giants head coach Ben McAdoo says his team will work to be sound, smart, and tough, continuing on much of what Tom Coughlin has accomplished. Speaking of Coughlin, he and the recently retired Justin Tuck and former GM Ernie Corsi will be inducted into the Giants Ring of Honor on November 14th. On the MLS pitch, NYCFC remains in first place despite falling to the New York Red Bulls 4-1 last Sunday in New Jersey. New York City returns to action this Saturday at Yankee Stadium when the team welcomes the Colorado Rapids for a 3 p.m. matchup. From the WNBA hardwood, the New York Liberty also remain in first place. The team is 18-8 on the summer and will travel to San Antonio after the Olympic break. The Liberty return on August the 26th. They've won 2 of their last 3. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for a look at 2 of baseball's all-time greats as they join the most exclusive club in baseball. Welcome to the hallowed halls, Mike Piazza and Ken Griffey Jr. Here are the Cooperstown inductions from 2016.
What does it mean to you to be only one of 2 men in the Hall of Fame to wear a Mets hat?
Well, I mean, I think it's the way I feel about it. It's a gift to the Mets. You know, the ownership. You know, as I mentioned, Steve going out and getting me and signing me long term, and the way the fans in the beginning, as I've said, made me better. And at the time when you're going through something like that as a player, obviously it's tough. Myself coming from the West Coast where the atmosphere was a little bit more laid back and come into the cauldron of New York, it was different, and but it made me better.
I have the utmost respect for Mike. I mean, the things that, you know, he's had to go through. I mean, we talked about it, you know, the different struggles, but they're the same. You know, him trying to survive, me trying to survive, going out there proving people, you know, why we belong. You know, why, you know, am I first pick in the nation? I got to prove it every day. And him being the same thing. Why am I, you know, 62nd round? I got to prove why they made a mistake. You know, I want to be out there. You know, from the first pitch until the last. I don't want to come out the game. And I know that injuries are a part of it. Would I do it all over again? Absolutely.
It is difficult. I mean, it's definitely not easy to play this game as because of the numbers of players that have made the Hall, but it's a little less stressful knowing that you don't have to talk in front of those people. But and to know what you said and what you said, I'm honored, flattered, and Ken and I are over the moon. The amount of people that made their way here, and he mentioned someone drove here, thousands of miles. So it was a special day, something that you can't put in perspective.
Only 1% of major leaguers make it to Cooperstown. I think the best way to describe Junior from his prime is there simply was nothing he could not do on a baseball diamond. Yankee fans witnessed that firsthand during the very first American League Division Series in 1995. Ken Griffey Jr. is responsible for making baseball viable in Seattle. Much the way the kid revitalized the city, Mike Piazza did the same for the Big Apple, across town in Flushing. After spending 1 week in Florida as a member of the Marlins, a trade to the New York Mets made them an immediate contender. Piazza is arguably the greatest hitting amazing along with Darryl Strawberry and carried the club to the 2000 Subway Series. As good as he was in the postseason, I think his home run at Shea Stadium in the first game back from the tragic events of 9/11 is where he leaves his mark in baseball history. Piazza was clutch, the face of his franchise, and like Griffey, a player that was easy to root for no matter where your allegiance lied. Congrats to Mike and the kid. We'll have an extended look at our road trip to Cooperstown this week in our latest edition of Sports NYC. Don't miss it, and don't miss the Red Bull Slaps this weekend only on BronxNet. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C. See you next time. Stay with us. Still plenty more open on the way.